You're not alone. But what if one of the most powerful tech giants on Earth wasn't as secure as we thought? In this video, we're digging into the day Google got hacked, what really happened, how deep it went, and what they didn't want you to know. Before we unlock the truth, make sure to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you never miss explosive tech stories and hidden digital truths. Let's uncover the secrets, starting now. The attack that shocked Silicon Valley, Operation Aurora, began with spear-phishing emails exploiting a zero-day Internet Explorer flaw to install backdoors on Google employees' computers. The attack targeted Google's intellectual property and systems handling government surveillance requests, especially those involving Chinese activists. The hackers moved stealthily through Google's network for weeks, using legitimate tools to avoid detection. They accessed key systems like search algorithms, Gmail, YouTube, and sensitive surveillance data, putting dissidents at risk. The Chinese connection. Within days of discovering the attack, Google traced it back to China's People's Liberation Army Unit 61398, a secretive cyber warfare unit. The attack's sophistication and targets pointed clearly to state-sponsored espionage. The timing was key. Google was under pressure from China to censor search results while trying to stay in the market. This attack marked a sharp escalation in that conflict. Intelligence later showed it was part of a larger Chinese campaign to steal intellectual property and gather intelligence from tech firms, defense contractors, and governments. The attack also aimed to identify Chinese citizens monitored by foreign agencies, helping the government track and silence dissidents, journalists, and activists. The Gmail accounts of Chinese dissidents. One of the most disturbing aspects of Operation Aurora was the targeting of Gmail accounts belonging to Chinese human rights activists. The attackers had specifically sought out accounts associated with political dissidents, journalists, and activists who were critical of the Chinese government. This wasn't just corporate espionage. It was digital persecution with potentially life-threatening consequences. The hackers accessed not just the content of these Gmail accounts, but also metadata that revealed communication patterns, contact lists, and location information. This data could be used to map entire networks of dissidents and their supporters, potentially putting hundreds of people at risk of imprisonment or worse. The attack represented a new form of transnational repression, where authoritarian governments could reach across borders to monitor and intimidate their critics. Google's investigation revealed that the hackers had accessed the personal Gmail accounts of at least 34 individuals, though the company suspected the actual number was much higher. The targeted accounts belonged to prominent human rights lawyers, journalists covering sensitive topics, and activists organizing protests against government policies. Many of these individuals had assumed their communications were private and secure, not realizing they were being monitored by state-sponsored hackers. The attack also highlighted the vulnerability of cloud-based services to sophisticated nation-state actors. While Google had implemented strong security measures to protect user data, the company's own employees and systems became the weak link that allowed attackers to access private communications. This incident forced a reevaluation of how technology companies protect activist users in authoritarian countries. Google's response in the aftermath. When Google's security team finally discovered the breach, the company faced a difficult decision. They could quietly patch their systems and hope the attackers hadn't caused too much damage, or they could go public with the attack and risk exposing their own security weaknesses. Google chose the unprecedented path of full disclosure, publishing a detailed blog post that shocked the technology industry. Google's response was swift and comprehensive. The company immediately began hardening their systems, implementing additional security measures, and conducting a thorough forensic investigation. They also made the controversial decision to stop censoring search results in China, effectively ending their compliance with Chinese government regulations. This move cost Google access to the world's largest internet market, but sent a clear message about the company's values. The attack prompted a major overhaul of Google's security practices. The company implemented new monitoring systems, enhanced employee training programs, and developed more sophisticated threat detection capabilities. They also began sharing threat intelligence with other technology companies. recognizing that cyber attacks of this scale required coordinated industry responses. The incident also led to significant changes in how the U.S. government approached cybersecurity. The attack was so sophisticated and had such serious national security implications that it prompted new policies on cyber warfare and industrial espionage. The U.S. began developing more aggressive cyber defense strategies and started openly attributing attacks to foreign governments. The cover-up allegations. Despite Google's public statement on Operation Aurora, key details were hidden. Investigations revealed the breach was worse than disclosed, with more systems compromised. Leaks suggested Google worked with the NSA, possibly sharing user data, raising privacy concerns. FOIA documents showed the U.S. government urged Google to downplay the attack to avoid escalating tensions with China. Many other companies were also targeted but stayed silent, creating the false impression that Google was the main victim. In reality, it was part of a much larger assault on U.S. tech infrastructure. The long-term implications. Operation Aurora reshaped how tech companies view cybersecurity in government ties. It proved that even top firms are vulnerable to nation-state attacks, with real geopolitical consequences like diplomatic rifts and sanctions. The incident spurred major investment in advanced defenses, AI threat detection, behavioral tools, and zero-trust systems, and fostered closer cooperation between companies and governments, despite privacy concerns. Targeting dissidents' Gmail accounts exposed the human rights risks of cyber attacks, leading to stronger digital protections for activists and journalists. Ultimately, Aurora highlighted that cybersecurity is not just technical. It's a global issue tied to free speech, privacy, and human rights. All right, that's a wrap on the day Google got hacked, a powerful reminder that even the biggest names in tech aren't untouchable. What they didn't tell you might just change how you look at online security forever. If you found this eye-opening, give it a thumbs up and drop your take in the comments. And for more deep dives into digital secrets and cyber drama, be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you never miss out. See you in the next one.